The whole world is watching as Russia invades Ukraine, including kids in school. WAAY 31's Alex Torres Perez sat in on a history class to hear the discussions they're having.
Students have a lot of questions about what's going on in the world.
Allie Brooks is a 10th grade history teacher at Austin High School. Her students have been asking her a lot of questions about what's going on between Russia and Ukraine. So she brought the discussion to the classroom.
I just thought it was important to pause and talk to kids about the history of conflict between Russia and Ukraine, and then kind of how that led us to where we are today.
The big question, what is the role of the United States in this conflict? Students' thoughts varied.
Ukraine handed over their nuclear weapons in order for protection, but the U.S. in 2014, they didn't protect them when they invaded, and they're not protecting them now.
Exactly. So if we didn't protect them then, what do we need to do right now?
But we need to. We signed a doctrine. They handed over their nuclear weapons for it.
Then that's going to cause more problems on the U.S.
What do you mean it's a group effort? I like that answer.
Not just like the U.S.'s responsibility to back up Ukraine.
It's whose?
It's most of the world are people for Ukrainians.
Why?
Because if Russia gets to Ukraine, then there's no more Ukraine.
It's an ongoing history lesson that Mrs. Brooks and students will keep a close eye on. Reporting in Decatur, Alex Torres Perez, WAAY 31 News.
Mrs. Brooks also encourages parents to have a discussion with their kids about what's going on. Similar scene in history classes at Sparkman High School in Huntsville. Mr. Dolan is leading his history class through an exercise in critical thinking. He's teaching them not only about what's happening overseas, but how it could impact life here in North Alabama. Students tell us they're thankful to have Mr. Dolan's support as these serious events wear on.
I didn't really think that when I signed up for this class, something like this would end up happening. I didn't think that there was going to be an invasion.
And while this teacher can guide his students to some answers, most are hard to come by. Mr. Dolan says his students worry about nuclear war and what that could mean for their generation as tensions worsen.